Hi, I'm Lindsey Sadler, and I decided to make a YouTube video for my REMIX because, it's quarantine. I've always enjoyed taking videos and documenting things, as well as editing videos together, so I thought that I would put them together for this REMIX. This is basically just going to be me sitting here talking. I thought about doing a podcast, but I'm more of a visual person, so I thought I would do that. Just the audio itself seemed kind of boring to me, so yeah. If you hear a bunch of noise, it's my cats that I can't control, so sorry about that. Our project to begin with was, I was a part of the history of dating in the media. I had Sam, Devin, Toriano, and Remy as my group members. In our project, we decided to do the history of dating in the media because we felt like it was something that a lot of people our age in particular could relate to, and not just our age, like just in general. The whole point of our project was to kind of show how dating in the media has come full circle. Like, people still advertise themselves as single and they still put themselves out there, and people are still willing to find love, but I feel like today, more so than ever, it's less taboo to find love in the media. Considering this is a communications and mass media class, I decided to take to media myself, my own personal social media, and I wanted to do a poll on my story that asked my followers a bunch of questions, just kind of diving into, basically, does love in the media exist? Is it possible? What people that I know feel about this topic in general. I kind of just went along with the slides that we had in my group's presentation for the topics that I wanted to put into the questions. If you don't know what a story is on Instagram, it is a short little post that you put up. I think they last 10 seconds, and they only last for 24 hours on your social media page, so they're not permanent. And personally, I like to put them up because it's a way to interact with your followers, but it's not permanently on your page. For me, it's fun. So I like to do a lot of polls interacting with my followers because I only have about 2,000, so I'm not like an influencer or anything. It's just people that I know, which of course I don't really know 2,000 people. Yeah, so I thought I really like asking them questions, random things like, which starburst is the best, red or pink? And of course the correct answer is pink, but I wanted to see what other people have to say. So I make polls, I ask random questions all the time. Me and my family have debates about things, and so I'll go on Instagram and put up a poll and be like, is it this one or this one? And just to see what the majority of people say. I'm really interested in hearing other people's opinions. I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity considering it's quarantine, I have nothing to do, I can make a video, I can go on my phone, I can interact with people, gives them something to do, gives me something to do. Yeah, so let's get into it. I'm going to try to make this quick, but I ramble and I talk a lot, so we'll see what happens. I asked my followers on Instagram in my stories 13 questions. There's no reason that I asked them 13 exactly, I just thought of 13 questions, and that just happens to be what number it was. Some of these questions have more interactions, like more votes than others, because maybe some of them didn't apply to everybody. I also tried to keep that in mind. Or sometimes on Instagram stories, if there's a lot, people don't flip all the way through, so I might have lost a few people by the end, but for the most part I had a pretty good turnout, I thought. And plus, I just thought that this was just a fun little Instagram poll. I tried to keep the questions as simple as I could so that it wouldn't confuse too many people, and I wanted to pick things that I felt most people knew about. If I did ask specifically like a type of dating app or a type of TV show, I picked those specifically because I thought that they were the most popular and most people had probably heard about them. On average, about 80 to 100 people voted in each of my posts. Like I said, some of them may vary for different reasons. So, the first question that I asked, of course, just diving straight into the point, was, do you believe finding love through the media, TV shows, online, dating apps, is possible? So, is finding love, true love, through the media possible? And 99 votes came in for that question. And 94% of people voted yes, they did think that finding love in the media was possible. So only 6% of people said that they didn't think it was possible. So that's really interesting. And I will say, that throughout all of these questions, by the end of it, some people's answers, just the amount of people that voted for certain things, I felt were kind of contradictory, which I'll get into that later. Yeah, number one, 94% of people believe that finding love in the media is possible, which is super interesting. So the second question that I asked people was, would you say that finding love through the media is common today? And if you see me looking over here, I'm just reading them off of my computer to make sure that I'm saying verbatim what I wrote in the post. There were 93 votes for this one, and 97% of people said that they did think that finding love through the media is common today. So people believe that it's possible and that it's common so far. A majority of the people that voted, which, like I said, there's 93 votes for the second and 99 for the first, so that's a pretty good amount of people. My third question was, do you know of someone who's met a significant other through the media? And that one was interesting because people said that 88% of people said yes, they do know of someone that has met someone through the media, and that was with 89 votes. And so 12% of people said they do not know anybody who has met their significant other through media, which, is that true? Can we really believe that? 4, is it easier getting to know someone face-to-face or online? So the reason I put this one in there was kind of just to see, like, do people prefer meeting people online or would they prefer meeting somebody in person? Which is not necessarily the same question because I'm asking, is it easier to get to know someone face-to-face or online? And most people said that it's easier to get to know each other face-to-face, which is interesting because if a majority of people think that it's easier to get to know each other face-to-face, but that it's common to find love through the media today, which one is it? If so many people are finding all of this love through the media and it's common, then it must be easy to meet people and get to know somebody online also, right? Just a thought. But that's what I mean when I say that this gets a little contradictory, and I think that that's super, super interesting that people voted this way. Okay. Number 5, would you pay for an ad in the newspaper to advertise yourself as single? Because like we put in our presentation, this was one of the first, or if not the first way to advertise yourself as single in the media, was an ad in the newspaper. There were 94 votes for this one, and only 1% of people said that they would put an ad for themselves in the newspaper. So 99% of people would not do that today, which I myself can say I wouldn't do that either. Because 1, I'm not going to pay for an ad to advertise myself as single, and 2, I don't have a 2. I just wouldn't do that. I don't know. But if you do, that's fine too. Whatever. Number 6, would you go on a blind date over a radio broadcast? Okay, so this one is going back to the blind date game over the radio back in like the late 40s, early 50s. And there were 80 votes for this one, and it said that 79% of people said no, actually, that they would not go on a blind date over a radio broadcast, but 21% of people said that they would. So maybe, I don't know if that's because they really want to find love, maybe because they just want to experience something fun, go on the radio, talk to some people, I don't know. But either way, that was an interesting one. I didn't think that many people would do that. Number 7, do you watch dating TV shows? So this one, I was surprised with the outcome because I thought that there would be less people that didn't. There were 93 votes for this one, pretty high up there, and 62% of the people that voted said that they do watch dating TV shows, and that means that only 38% do not. Surprisingly, I just always thought that people like hated on them, so I did not think that 62% of the people that would vote in this would say yes. But at the same time, I feel like we're all kind of a lot more similar than we think we are, and we all watch a lot more of the same things than we think we do. Number 8, would you ever go on a dating TV show yourself? So there were 92 votes for this one, and I thought this was a fun question because you always hear people, they're either like, yeah, I totally would, or no, I wouldn't. And some people go on strictly for exposure of themselves, like just to put, they don't even care if they win, they just want to like somehow get famous and put themselves out there. There were 92 votes, and 85% of people said that they would not go on a dating TV show, which doesn't really surprise me because personally, I don't think I would either. I mean, it could just be like fun, but I don't know. I don't really think I would. 15% of people said that they would go on a dating TV show, so that's cool. Do your thing. Whatever. Number 9. Do you prefer Love Island or The Bachelor? I felt like a lot of people watch these two shows. They're probably the most popular dating TV shows in my opinion. So there were 72 votes, maybe lost a few people by this point, and 79% of people preferred The Bachelor over Love Island. So a majority of people watch The Bachelor, which may also be because that's American. It's an American show, and Love Island is not. It's more in the UK and Australia. Number 10. So, do you watch Catfish or Love is Blind? That one goes along with our internet and TV slide for our presentation. There were 91 votes for this one, and 66% of people said that they do watch either one of these shows, and 34% of people said that they did not watch either of these shows. Which I'm not surprised, but I am. I don't really have much to say on that one. I don't know. So I wanted just to see kind of how popular that one was, and there were 91 votes, so apparently, and a majority of people do, so apparently a lot of people watch these. Number 11, have you ever used a dating app / site? So a dating app or a dating site. And 99 votes for this one, so about 100 people. And it was almost half and half. 53% of people have used a dating app or a dating site, and 47% of the voters had not used one. Which, can we really depend on that? Because maybe some people just don't want to out themselves and say that they've been on one. Don't want to look desperate, although I don't think it makes you look desperate. I think that if that's how you want to meet somebody, that's how you want to meet somebody. Number 12. If yes to the last questions, if they had ever used a dating app or a dating site, did they meet someone and fall in love? And there were 65 votes for this one, so I guess that kind of makes sense to go along with the people that said that they had used one. 75% of them said they did not or had not ever met anyone and fallen in love with them from a dating site, which doesn't surprise me because, yeah. So 25% of people said that they had met somebody and fallen in love, and if 25% of people out of 65 had met somebody and fallen in love, I would say that the success rate is not too high. That doesn't mean it's impossible. So that goes back to our number 1 question about, is it possible? And people said yes. There we go. It's possible. Some people have fallen in love. And number 13, this one was kind of just thrown in there about if people like the Love Island or The Bachelor, so I thought I would throw in the dating sites too, or the apps, I guess. So number 13, which is better, Tinder or Bumble? There are 55 votes total for this one. So 56% of people said that they like Tinder, and 44% of people like Bumble. So I'm guessing Tinder is the more popular dating app. It really makes you think. I'm actually really interested in as to why people said which one they do or don't like, but I didn't want to put any short answer questions in there because like I said, I wanted to keep it simple and kind of give them options rather than letting them, because then I'd have to go through all of them, and that would make this video even longer. So yeah, that is my remix for the history of dating in the media. And I really wanted to see how, because we have a lot of stuff about the history, and so I wanted to see how it affected people today and how people my age, not everybody that voted was my age, there were like some older people like my grandma and my mom and people like that. So it wasn't everybody in their 20s. So I thought that it was a pretty interesting interesting little poll questionnaire there, and I really was happy with the turnout too. Like I said, there was an average of about 80 to 100 votes, and the ones that had less were probably because the questions just didn't apply to them. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe and staying home. And yeah, I'm sad this semester was cut short, but I hope you enjoyed watching my remix. Bye.